Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to cilinixfxcapital. Hope you're all doing great, and welcome to yet another long-term XRP update. Now, I did one of these videos actually back in January, I think. If you watched that video, my price targets in there are still accurate, all right, and are still what I believe at this point of time. We've gotten a little bit closer to those price targets. But we're not there yet, all right? So I just wanted to update my long-term views on XRP in this video. I know a lot of you are interested in my thoughts on XRP. Personally, I've been thinking about this a lot, and I think about this a lot as well in general. And the price action has also significantly changed, of course, since the beginning of July, when we had that massive breakout. So I think it's valuable to actually talk about the long term right here on XRP, what I expect in terms of a general price target, and what I expect in terms of how we can get there, because I'm making this video with certain fundamental assumptions, right? I think long-term analysis, and for this, it's, call it long-term, I'm not sure if you can, but this is for at least until early 2026. It's always difficult to do a long-term analysis because it very much depends on the fundamentals, all right? And fundamentals, I cannot predict. I cannot predict whether the United States is going to get into a recession, all right? I'm not smart enough for that. So this whole longer-term analysis is based on the assumption that we're going to get relative political stability. So obviously right now there's not major stability. That's fine, all right? If it stays like that, this is correct. If we get major escalation, this could completely change. If we get major de-escalation, it could accelerate, all right? It's also assuming no recession in the United States, which I don't expect, and it's assuming at least 2 interest rate cuts, all right? Those are the assumptions I'm making this analysis on. There's still, there's a lot that can happen in this in these last couple of months of 2025. I'll take that into account in different scenarios, but ultimately at this point of time, given what's coming for Ripple and XRP, I have to be bullish on it, all right? And that's not only for the technicals, because technically we have broken above a massive range right here. That's a beautiful drawing. Massive range right here for XRP. We've gotten a breakout with high volume. I think this is a real breakout, so I think we're starting a new uptrend. Now, due to the timing here in August and September, the momentum, the volume is a little bit lower. Could still take some time before we actually continue that uptrend. But not only technically do I expect that uptrend, no, I think fundamentally there's also reasons to expect that Ripple is going to trend higher. The first thing being with the Ripple SEC case actually being closed. That would be great, but outside of that, I think one of the major catalysts for Ripple and for XRP, and you have to watch some of my ETF related videos if you actually want to have my full thoughts on why I think the Ripple ETF is going to be great for XRP, which might sound logical. Some of you might say, well, obviously the ETF is great. But if you take a look at Bitcoin and Ethereum, especially Ethereum actually performed very, very poorly after the ETF. So it's not a given. But I think given the specific circumstances for XRP, this is very bullish, and it can also start to be very bullish right after the approval and right after the XRP launch. So I think this is a major catalyst that's coming in 2025. That's going to help the price. And personally, I also very much like what Ripple is doing with several acquisitions that they have already done in the stablecoin space. So last week with the real acquisition, for example, but there's been more acquisitions earlier this year. And if we take a look at ROUSD, so Ripple's stablecoin, you can also see good growth in that. If you take a look at the last year in terms of the market cap, it has grown from about $50 million to $640 million right now in market cap, and it's still growing right now. So that's great to see. That's why I fundamentally do also believe in this breakout. I think short term, there's not a lot of momentum. And like I said, the timing is not right. So I think we're going to remain stable a bit. But then I do think we're going to continue our uptrend. First price target is 4.5 cents. That's where we have the minus 0.236 VIP. It's a major psychological level. I think that's the first price target, but I do think we're going to rally up higher. I think we'll find some resistance there. And after that, I expect us to rally into that level right here between 4.5 and $5. For now, and that might be a little bit conservative, but for now, for 2025, the end of 2025, beginning 2026, that's my price target. All right. Now, some of you might say, oh, that's much too low. XRP can get into $7.50 easily. I understand. I do not necessarily disagree, but I think for now, that can be a local top that lasts for a longer period of time. All right, so there's some major Fibonacci extensions there. We're going to reach some major market cap psychological levels there. So therefore, I'm going to take that as my main price target for now. When we get there, I will reevaluate and I will update, all right? If we get a good reaction there, we can rally up higher as well. So that is what I would expect for now. I also do want to include and say that there is a possibility, especially if we get a fundamental escalation over the next couple of months, that we're still going to fill this imbalance right here at 2.4, 2.5. In my opinion, 2.4, 2.5 is an excellent buying area. I think we're going to find support there. I think we're going to reclaim stability, like I said earlier, and continuation up higher. Those are my thoughts long-term on XRP. Hopefully you found this valuable. Hopefully hopefully it helps you with your own opinion building, because obviously you should take this with your own experience, with your own thoughts, and make an analysis yourself based on that as well. But those are at least my thoughts for now. Hopefully that helps. Thank you for watching. I'll see you all in my next videos, and bye.